Welcome to the Maine-J Show. It's your boy Maine-J, and this is another episode of Maine-Chat. Thank you all for tuning in once again. You already know what to do. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. All that good stuff. I got some great things coming in store for 2021 and 2022 that I'll be sharing with you all probably in the next couple of episodes of Maine-Chat. So please be on the lookout for what I have to say, what I have to share. So I'm excited. But just know that it's going to be better content, better sound, better, just a lot of great things that to do what I do to make it better for you all to tune in and hear what I got to say. Thank you all for all those who do tune in. All right. So let's dig on in. Many of y'all have been asking me, Jermaine, Maine J, those who call me what they call me, praise Jesus, what I think about what's going on with the new president and vice president and all the staff. I really don't know how to feel yet. My question for y'all is, how do y'all feel? There's many people who wanted Trump in. They're disappointed. Many people that didn't want Biden-Harrison, disappointed. Many people that didn't care either way. I will say this, like I do for anybody, whether I voted for them or not. I will always give them a grace period before I start saying anything. Whenever you come on, whether you're president of the United States, whether you're a new manager, new boss, a new parent, step parent or someone coming into a family, I always give a grace period. You got to figure out people, figure out things, figure out what works, what's not going to work, things that you want to leave for your legacy and how you want to run things, and then you got to fix things from the previous administration or try to continue things, or sometimes you have to fill the shoes of fill the shoes if it was a great leader before you, try to fill those shoes and continue it to where it's not such a change, and there's just an adjustment. So Biden-Harris does have 6 months, but there's many people who still feel like it was gypped, they were rigged. You still got plenty of people who say, well, we need to take our country back. I already talked to you about what the people look like who are saying we need to take our country back. They're not looking like me, so that's a whole nother topic. Then there's, I guess, of course, we're getting Republicans against Democrats, of course, but then now it's Republicans against Trumplicans, those who voted against Trump to impeach him and all this other stuff. Now you got the Trumplicans going against Republicans, and it's just like you can't have a voice, you can't do what's right. The thing about serving, and these are a lot of the Christian Trumplicans, the thing about serving is you're not supposed to just serve one person. We don't just serve Jesus for all the Christian Trumplicans. You serve the people. You're supposed to feed them, clothe them, love them, help them, be a light, be a guide, be a direction, be a listening ear. We're supposed to serve the people. And you're getting mad at people for not just being about Trump, but being about what they think is best for the country or whatever, and want to attack them and say, we're going to come after y'all in your seats and all this other stuff, and we're coming for y'all because you should never win against Trump. Did they go against Trump? Or when they were so stuck on being for him that they forgot the reason why they were in office in the first place, and that is to serve people. Whether you're for Trump or not, your job in office is to serve the people of your town, your city, your state, your country. Black, white, rich, poor, gay, straight, atheist, Christian, whatever. You're there to serve the people. If you're a Republican leader of a town or a state, if you have Democrat people, you're still there. You're still their mayor. You're still their senator. You're still their city councilor, representative, or whatever the case may be. So all this Trumplicans against Republicans and all this other stuff, it's not just about y'all. It's about everybody involved. So that's how I pretty much feel about that. Now going forward, I was asked, what do I want to see? What am I expecting? I'm expecting a few things from this new administration overall. Number one, I'll start with the student loan thing. I'm kind of torn between it because I have student loans, that's obviously during the pandemic, we don't have to pay, but I've been making my little payments still because we ain't paying on no interest, so it's going directly on what you borrowed. Now hear me. I'm all for them giving us money to pay for the student loan. Shoot, I can use it. Let me sip on that real quick. But I think more so when it comes to the distributing of money, and I know people's gonna be like, well, Maine-Chat, speak it for yourself. But I do think that maybe those who actually graduated from college should get their student loans paid off in full if that's what they're thinking about doing. And if for those who didn't, because like I said, knowing about financial aid and knowing about student loans and stuff, a lot of people apply for them just to get the money. They don't even finish the classes. They take advantage of the free financial aid and different things, and they're cracking down on that. Student loans is different because you actually borrow that money. And I'm old school. I'm the type of person, if you borrow something, you're supposed to bring it back. Watch my video, Loaning versus Lending, a couple of videos back. You know, so I am that type. You borrow this money, you should pay it back. But I think, you know, if they're going to give money, I think it should go towards, first of all, you're going to pay loans. Pay the loans for the people who actually used it. Those who went to school and finished. I'm not, of course, you know, life happens and you might have to, it takes longer and you're taking class by class and you're going, you know, you skip a semester, go semester, skip one and you're going, and then yeah, pay whatever. But for those who just stopped, ain't thinking about going back, ain't even try to pay no loan, and I don't think you should get the money. I think you should pay it back. Or what I think, if you didn't finish, or even for those who did finish, maybe how much did your actual school expenses cost? How much went to the institution? So if you took out a $50,000 student loan and all your classes came up to $41,000, there's a $90,000 difference, right? Maybe the government pays the $41,000 and then maybe you just pay the $9,000. If you took the money and you spent it on whatever, you spent it. You took the loan, you took the money, you didn't tell them to take the money back, so you wouldn't have to worry about that $9,000, whatever the case may be. So maybe you pay the difference. Have some receipts. You know, maybe you spent your money on a laptop. Of course, if you were an online student like I was the second half of my college career, then you need internet. So maybe they'll let you use your internet bill. Say, well, here's the internet. I needed this as a student. I had a laptop. I needed this as a student. You know, I still, even though I was doing it from home, I still have my notebooks. If you could play, and that can deduct. But so maybe I'm thinking, instead of paying it all off, because y'all did borrow the money, I borrowed the money too, being responsible, maybe they just pay off what exactly went to the institution, and maybe whatever receipts that you have for what went towards your education, have it all, and then okay, they say, okay, well, you use $41,000 towards the institution, so we'll take care of that. Then you gave us about $3,000 in receipts or whatever the case may be, and so now only you owe us what, $6,000, something like that. So I do want to see that. Okay, I still ain't got my stimulus money yet. I do want to see that as well. But another thing that I want to see is reparations. Yes, reparations. Excuse the noise in the background, you know, I live in the hood. But I do want to see reparations. Not reparations as far as like, not yet anyhow, as far as like the slavery stuff and, you know, how we are, there's a big gap financially because of, you know, people of color and where we stand and how we, you know, how a lot we were taken advantage of and people made millions off of free labor and all the other stuff. But what I want to see reparations in, I don't know if the media didn't really show this part because they have a real dislike for Trump. But what I want to see reparations for, when Trump was pardoning his last day as the president of the United States, he pardoned a few people that had harsh sentences under Biden's policies that he put back like in the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, that affected a lot of families, especially minority families. And they put them away. If you had 3 strikes, you were away. Just for like marijuana, you know, you got caught with some marijuana on you, or you know, you're doing a couple of plays just to get some cash to feed your family or whatever the case may be, side hustle, because, you know, back then, and that'll be my next topic about what I want to see. But, you know, I would like to see reparations for those families because, as you know now, Weed is pretty much legal in many states. Or if you have a certain amount on you, you can't get, arrested or whatever the case may be. You can go to dispensaries all over the place now. You can smoke at parks, and it's just so much that you can do that people couldn't do, that people went to jail for, just for weed, just for making a couple of extra bucks because somebody wanted to get high real quick. Or they had a long day at work and they wanted some weed and they wanted to puff and get high and just be in a different zone. And people went away for years and it messed up families. Fathers went away for years. Or they came out and because it was on their record, they couldn't get a job. We know how the system was back then. So now you can't get a job. So now the only thing you know how to do is, because you can't work or unless you find something under the table, is sell these drugs, and then you get caught again, and then you get a harsher sentence. So there's a lot of families that have been broken just for marijuana usage or marijuana selling from back then, from Biden's day. So I would love to see reparations for a lot of families in that aspect. Kids who might have had been taken out their home because of a drug bust, and all they found was marijuana, and now these kids had to grow up in the system. I would love to see those kids and those families get some reparations for the time and the years that they lost with their family. Especially knowing how the system was, where if you have this type of thing on your account, you have to put check yes, or even if you lie and say no and they find out that you can't work here, you get fired, and some more stuff. It's just like, it's a hot mess. So reparations for all those families that were affected by that policy. And I hope that people really read what Trump did in that regard. So I don't like him, not a fan of him, but when he does something right, I definitely always will call it out and stand by rightness. So definitely reparations for a lot of minorities and people who are affected by the marijuana and all that other stuff. And not even reparations for that, but I also want to see reparations for the crack epidemic still. We were saying it's an addiction, it's a problem, it's a struggle. Drove them in jail and all this other stuff. And now we see opioids and because they don't look like this, now all of a sudden it's an epidemic and we got to do something. And now there's places for, clean needles, and come and get your needles, get your alcohol to rub on your arm, and get the things to wrap on your arm to make it tight so you can pop on the veins so it can pop up and you can shoot it up, and some more stuff. It's all types of stuff, all types of resources, even with reparations for what I've just talked about the coming out of jail. There's halfway houses, and we're going to help you get jobs so you don't, all that type of stuff now. But back then that wasn't happening. So reparations for all those families that were affected by those types of things, by those laws and policies that kept people back in jail. I would love to see reparations for that. And that goes into the next thing I would love to see under this administration. I would love to see Biden and Harris revisit some of their policies. A lot of people were like, I don't understand how people voted for Trump. Well, they couldn't vote for Biden and Harris, knowing what happened to their family, knowing what happened to their uncles, knowing what happened to their cousins, nephews, family members, being put away for years. So, I would love to see them go through some policies and say, you know what, these policies are actually more hurtful than helpful, and do some type of reforming. Once again, and some part of that reforming is some reparations with that. Reforming I don't want to say defund, because I don't want you to attack me, but even some like reforming, police reform, just checking the system out. There's a lot of things that need to be reformed. Put the people at ease, harsh sentences, look back once again and see who's in jail for just marijuana, or for selling a little pot just to make some money. They're not making millions of dollars and stuff. Now, all of a sudden, weed is only legal because y'all can tax it now. Y'all can control it. And y'all are making billions of dollars off of these dispensaries. That's all that really was. So, I want to see some police reform. I want to see, more training. I want to see, part of police reform is these police officers actually knowing the community that they serve, getting out, going to a park, sitting with the people, just different things I would love to see more of that in their policies. And I just think, with the healthcare, I would love to see something with healthcare as well. I'm not sure if I'm for free healthcare for all, but I'm definitely in for healthcare for all. What I mean by that is, of course, if you need to get your teeth checked, those dentists need to get paid. Just brush your teeth, get a toothbrush, some toothpaste, some mouthwash, whatever. But if you really want to go get your teeth cleaned or bleached or really checked out, then I do think that if you don't have insurance, you should pay for that. You want to get your eyes checked and you don't have insurance, I do believe that you should pay for that. You want glasses, the same way how you go to the store, the mall, to get yourself some, some sunglasses or some nice frames or whatever the case may be. I think that you should pay to get your eye checks and pay for your glasses if you don't have insurance. I do believe in the bottom line stuff, the checkout. You want to get a checkup? Absolutely, I think you should pay for that if you don't have insurance. Now, where I stand for healthcare for all, like I know in Massachusetts, you can't be denied emergency services. So like, if you need the emergency room, they have, even if you have insurance or don't have insurance, they have to check you out. Gunshot wounds and all this other stuff, they have to. Where I'm for that when it comes to healthcare for all. No one should be denied emergency services. No one should be denied the major stuff because they don't have insurance or because the insurance doesn't cover it. I don't feel comfortable with knowing that someone needs a heart transplant and because they don't have the money to pay for it or their health insurance won't cover it, that they can't get the heart transplant. They can't get the kidney. They can't get the lung, or, they can't get the brain tumor out, something like that. That's where I am for healthcare for all. I do believe when it's the emergency top tier things that are like life-threatening, absolutely, I do believe that somewhere along the lines that no one should be denied that. You want to get your teeth bleached and have white teeth or a new mouth and new teeth and some more stuff, yeah, pay for that. So I would love to see just the systems, and even when it comes to medicines, just cheaper medicine for people. Once again, just the system and overall, even when it comes to medical, I want to see that change. And then something in regards to the educational system as well. I want them to change at least the history part. Put more of the real history in there, not this stuff. People shouldn't be waiting to college to learn the truth about, Columbus and a lot of these other stuff, the horrible stuff about what happened to blacks, that what happened to the Asians, what happened to the Jews and all this. And it shouldn't be just one chapter. It should be like, for the whole year, we're doing, maybe sixth grade, we're going to learn all about all the black people that contribute, not just Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and like brain surgeons and all this other stuff that happened. Maybe seventh grade, we learn about, how the Asians were treated when it came to building for these rich people, all the train systems. Y'all don't want all these people coming over in our country, but it's all these immigrants that y'all didn't want to pay it and that y'all treated like slaves and horribly that built it. Let's just be real. Until people started fighting back and saying, no, people need to get paid. This is how this country was really built. Off the shoulders of slaves and immigrants that y'all so hardly try to keep out. Let's be realistic. So I definitely want to see them change at least the history portion. And I definitely want to see teachers get bigger budgets to run their classrooms the way how they need to, without having to come out their pockets. The way how they've done so great during this pandemic, I want to see teachers get raises. And lastly, I want to see our vets get treated better. So you asked me what I want to see under this administration. It was a lot. Some things are on the president and the administration. Some things are on your governor, your mayor. Check up. See what job is whose. But those are the things that I would definitely like to see in the next 4 years or 8 years or however long the term is. But don't be not deceived. God is not marked. Trust me, these Trumplicans and Trumpettes and people there, they are ready. I'm not sure what they're trying to do, where they're going with this, but either something's gonna pop off within the next 4 years, or definitely either Trump, one of his children, or somebody like Trump, or a Trumplican at somebody's gonna come up and run for office again, and they're gonna be ready with more forces, more people, more backup. So trust me, there's a whole world out there. We think we at peace right now, and they calm in this little, but it's always calm before the storm. So please just be careful out there. Thank you all for tuning into the Maine-Chat show. This has been another episode of Maine-Chat. I really do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Until the next time,